This is dedicated to anyone that's been knocked down but not out. The ones that fell to their knees but rose back up. The ones that scratched and clawed but never let go. The ones willing to admit their faults, move past their failures, and improve every single day. I hope these conversations encourage you to think critically, make you laugh hysterically, inspire you profoundly, and remind you to practice gratitude daily. My name is Iman Huschmand. Welcome to the conversation. Welcome to Awesome People. What's going on, awesome people? This is Iman Huschmand, and I would like to virtually welcome all of you to a very special episode of the Awesome People podcast. This individual is very unique. It's somebody that I've known literally my entire life, and there's a couple of good reasons why I wanted to have this conversation with her. I've actually been wanting to have this conversation for quite some time, and finally it was her who said, let's do it. So I'm very happy that finally, after all these years, my guest on today's Awesome People podcast is none other than my mother, Mahin Huschmand.
Thank you. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, well, for those who don't know, one of the many things that my mom does is Persian wedding officiating. And I really wanted the focus of this particular episode to be fully focused on Persian weddings because, as some of you may or may not know, I've been in the entertainment industry for more than 25 years with a specialization in Persian weddings. So having done over 1,000 weddings and specializing in exclusive entertainment with DJs and musicians and lighting. And then also we do photography and videography. We're very well versed with Persian and fusion weddings. And so my mom, considering that she started officiating weddings 6-7 years ago, I thought that it would be a great time and a great opportunity for us to talk all things Persian weddings. So Mom, for those who don't know you, why don't you just kind of start by sharing, a little bit about how your journey into becoming a Persian wedding officiant even began?
I think all the Iranian and all over the world, after revolution, any kind of the shape they want to promote and talk about the Iranian culture and history. Even with the talk to the neighbors or at the school or university or in the attend to the seminar, any shape. Even right now we see that recently everybody is cooking. On Facebook, they will see there's so many people that are cooking. It's not the reason they want to cook or there is a benefit for the financial. It's just that they put the effort and time to show they're not Iranian, our culture, our food, and everything is related to Iranian history. And I'm the one of them that always I like to do something. And I think that 30 years ago, it happened for me, this opportunity. And as you know, your cousin, she wanted married in Austria because her mom is Austrian. And she wanted to marry with the Austrian groom. So she insisted that she wanted to have a Persian ceremony. And then, of course, we said that we bring everything for your Sofreh, and then the Sofreh is the marriage table. And but my brother was concerned that we don't have any mullah here. But I assured him that I will officiate the wedding. Anyway, we prepared ourselves and then we went and then made a very nice Sofreh. And there I had a really opportunity to talk about this ceremony. Not the way that it used to be, because I have studied archaeology and I know a little bit that the roots of this ceremony is just based on the ancient Zoroastrian traditions of about 3,000 years ago. But recent years, according to inscriptions that have been found by archaeologists, the roots of this ceremony traced to the Sumerian tribe that has lived in south of Iran over 6,000 or sometimes more or less years ago. So this was the number one that I could talk about it. And of course, that ceremony was in the German and Farsi because majority of the guests there was taught German. Anyway, that was a really, really blessing start.
امشب میهمانان خدای عشق تانیا و مانفرد هستند. کدومشون به این جشن مبارک باشد.
And then after that, I was doing for the friends and family. But a few years ago, you was encouraged me that I do for the public. And then right now, first, I was shocked and I can't, why, anyway. But right now, I'm very grateful that I have done it.
Yeah, and so you pretty much like started like 8 years ago. I think it was 2017 or so.
Yes, and then we had a 2 years pause because of the pandemic. But during that time, I did a few times virtual. But right now that start again, and I'm very happy that I'm more busy.
So what is it about officiating a wedding that you enjoyed? So I understand that there's a part where you wanted to preserve the history and the culture, and I also know that your version is fully focused on cultural and not religious. But what are some of the moments of a Persian wedding ceremony that gets you excited, that gets you happy, that gets you looking forward to going to the wedding?
It is just amazing that I have done more than the last one, the 2 weeks ago, was 159 that I have done it. Still, I'm excited to go. And then also when the bride and groom, they come, still I get overwhelmed. But it is a feeling that I can't describe it. How happy I will be in the ceremony. It is like this is my children. And then really from bottom of my heart, I wish them the happy and blessing marriage.
And I think that was one of the main reasons is the fact that because you had such a beautiful long marriage with Dad, is that you wanted to like pass along some of that good juju and positive elements of weddings to them, right?
Yes, because I had a marriage, 57 years marriage, full of the love and happiness and passion. And but really, I admire the couple that they have a courage to do that. Nowadays, unfortunately, most of the young people, for many reasons, they don't have this courage. And that, but when they do that, when I see the bride and groom, I say, wow, they made it.
That's interesting. So you look at it as like their journey that has finally reached to this point, and you're excited for them. Well, I'll come back to whether or not it's all about courage. I think it's a little bit more than just courage that has led to perhaps less people getting married or people getting later. But let's just say that right now a bride and groom, they contact you and they're interested in having you officiate their wedding. Why don't you kind of walk us through the process of, how many meetings do you have with them, or like what kind of things do you go over with them during that meeting so that you fully understand, their vision?
First of all, I make an appointment and we will have a phone call or then FaceTime. I prefer the FaceTime that we can know each other better, and then I get the information that what they are doing, how long they are dating, and then what's the nationality, how many guests they have, how many percentage they don't speak Farsi. Because it's very important, I want that the audience really enjoy and they understand what I'm talking about and what we are doing. So I have to make a really balance with them. Basically, right now, even if the bride and groom, they are both Iranian. But because the big number of the guests, they are either not Iranian or they're Iranian, but they don't speak Farsi. Even the bride and groom, they're Iranian, but they don't understand fully Farsi. For this reason, usually 80% of my speech is English and 20% Farsi. But in the both part, I try to have a poetry. I have it to have pray in the Farsi and in English, and then explain everything before they start the ceremony. What we are doing, what's the meaning of that, what's the meaning of the honey, what's the meaning of the canopy, why we asked it 3 times from the bride, because the reason that maybe a lot of the people, they don't realize that we asked 3 times, not because the bride is shy. No, because in ancient Iranian time, the woman, they have the special respect. And that on this ceremony, that is just the most important time that they make decision, they want that the bride really think about this answer through, and that she realized she is not forced or pushed be here, and she has time to think about it. And then we ask usually 3 times. But I know that some part of the Iran, the north of Iran, according to the family, even they have to ask 7 times. But we limited to the 3 times. And then, of course, this is the best part of my ceremony. I love it. That I asked the bride first time, and then they said عروس رفته گل بچینه, she has gone to pick up flower, and then I say some message from the groom that okay, عروس خانم, they are picking the flower, but the groom is waiting for your answer, and then I will say some poetry. One of the poetry is real, I love it, from my dear friend Soraya Pastor, that the first time, for example, I say, okay, this message from his داماد, that به خدا پر از صفایی همه زیبایی و مهری, به خدا رنگین کمانی تو باید برای من بمانی, به خدا زنجیر عشقی تو همه ریشه مهری, به خدا پر از نیازم عروس خانم نکنه تو رو ببازم. This part of the ceremony really I love it.
Let's talk about some of the most important elements of the sofreh. We don't want to get to all the details, but there are some major significant symbols in the ceremony, sofreh.
Actually, most important part is this mirror that represents unity. Candlestick represent the bride and groom internal light and passion. We have a Kakhe candy that represent the sweetness in the bride and groom future. What else? We have a walnut, almond, hazelnut that signifies fertility. And we have a nanesangak that with the bread is very well-known Iranian bread, and that signifies prosperity. Basically, they are the basic, and then it was that always in the past there was this item. And right now, of course, it's I see it's a beautiful and luxury sofreh, and they add a lot of things. It's really amazing. It's just the artwork.
Then there's also the canopy where they have the sugaring.
Yes, the canopy that it is a show that the first roof for the bride and groom, and then sugar cone that they're rubbing together, spraying the sugar granules, and then again it's just they wish the sweetness for the bride and groom.
And who are the individuals that are doing all the sugaring?
Usually, it depends on the bride and groom.
What about traditionally? What was it originally?
Traditionally, it was the family because
Men and women?
no. The tradition in the past, usually even this room, the only man that comes was the groom, and the rest they were women. And this ceremony usually was the elderly member of the family, and just a young family, and then a lucky family of their friends, and even the girls, they didn't come. Just as the woman that their happy life they was doing.
And they would be married originally, right?
Married, and then unfortunately, even if the mother was widowed, then she shouldn't come at the Sofreh. That
If the mother was what?
Witwe.
Widowed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The German.
Okay. Got the German in here all of a sudden. I was like, what's going on?
Widow. And so that...
She speaks fluent German too, so this is actually why... yeah.
Anyway, she wasn't allowed to come. And it was really, really bad.
Yeah.
Or in the past, they had something that, again, it was a custom, but thank God it's over, that there was a sewing, and then they said that tongue of the mother-in-law.
Oh, no.
That thank God. Then later, they changed that, said that we're sewing the love between two families, but everybody knew that the base is not that. In the past, in our generation, we didn't have the honey. We had the nur. It is the Persian candy. And then we used to have the bride and groom, they put it from the behind of the head and then eat.
There's a nice picture of you and Dad from your wedding ceremony.
Yes, we used to have this, but right now they put the honey. And I think they know it was better than just with the pinky finger, go to the honey and put each other months. But anyway, that's just the sweetness.
That's how it was in Iran mostly?
Yes.
Like so in Iran, like 60 years ago, the ceremony and reception were not on the same day?
Could be, but sometimes the ceremony was in the house, and then for the wedding they went to the hotel. Or it was very different.
Yeah.
But sometimes they wanted just to have a act, and then they have a time to serve.
Something that I feel very fortunate about is that most people my age don't have wedding videos of their parents, and we're so lucky to have this beautiful video.
Your dad is very into the picture and that film, and that, thank God, we have this beautiful ceremony.
Yeah. What venue was it?
That the Kakhe Javanan.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Tehran.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
I mean, it's an incredible piece of video when you think that it's 60 years ago. Just the food spread and
priceless.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is why I always recommend to get photo and video. It's something very important.
Yeah, night out.
But that's a good plug for our business. But in general, not even obviously but it's just documenting is such an important part of life, and so we're so lucky to now have phones that you can get great videos. So really, like, there's no more excuse for not taking out your phone and taking photos and videos of special moments. So because you're going to enjoy them 2 years later, 5 years later, definitely 20 and 30 years later, And so I just wish, sometimes when I talk to our bride and grooms and I'm like, are you doing photo and video? When they only say photo or they only say video, usually they say only photo. Mm-hmm. That's like the minimum that you have to get. And then I'm like, how do you not film that? How do you not? Like, even if you have to get somebody that is maybe saying, I'll do it for free because I'm learning, and the quality isn't going to be great, that is still better than relying on like cell phone footage. So I'm like, I don't care. Like, but some people I know, they get nice flowers, they get nice venue, but then they don't do video and they say, I don't have budget for it.
Yeah.
It's like, at the end of the day, the flowers are not going to make a difference for you in 30 years. But that video that you have, that's priceless, you know? So how else would you say that weddings have changed since your wedding 60 years ago? What is something that you think has improved, like that you like, that you're seeing in a lot of these American, because most of our weddings are in America, so we should keep in mind that maybe weddings inside of Iran are different right now, maybe in other countries, but we do mostly in America. What do you like that has changed that you think is good?
Actually, when I left Iran 1979, in our generation, we had, of course, this nice wedding according to the family and budget. But the first 12 years that it was in Europe, it was very simple, very simple. You know, I was in a few weddings. But after 12 years, when we came to America, and the first wedding that we attend was your sister wedding, that it was amazing. The Sofreh has been done by mother-in-law. That is beautiful, beautiful. And she has worked a month. And then for us, it was really luxury. After that little by little, the Iranian, they start to, and then the kids, they was grown up. So more and more, this wedding would get the more luxury, more expensive, more beautiful, which is good. Why not? If the people, they can afford it, why they don't do that? Because hopefully everybody once will be bride and groom, and that is the best opportunity. Or they involve the bridesmaids, for example. We didn't have that bridesmaid in Iran at all. But here, the bridesmaids, because the girls, they go to school and then they learn from the American custom. I think they have blended very good together.
Yeah.
The good things from the American wedding and the good things from the Iranian, even the not Iranian bride, they love to have this ceremony because they have to see our ceremony is very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
And so they love it, and this is a nice blend. I think everything is.
Now let's talk about some of the things that we see at weddings all the time that we wish that the couples would pay closer attention to. What are some of the things that you always try to tell your bride and grooms to keep this in mind, please, for your wedding? Make sure that, you do this, make sure you don't do that, make sure to have this. What are some things that come to mind?
First of all, I realized that the bride and groom, they pay attention to the, in terms of the speech, the poetry, and then poetry about the love. And then a lot of them, they like the Maulana.
Rumi.
Maulana Rumi. We Iranian more say Maulana, but here they say Rumi. Of course, the Rumi has this, the good number of the poetry about the love, for example.
I think he's the most translated poet of all time.
Yes, and also for the Maulana Rumi, at the end I have a poetry that I love always to most of time. But Hafiz has also the poetry that I love it.
Do you remember one that you want to share?
هزار جهد بکردم که تو یار من باشی مراد بخش دل بیقرار من باشی ارچه من حافظ شهرم جوی نمی ارزم مگر تو از کرم خیش در کنار من باشی. Or the Hafiz again, they said, the heart is a musical instrument with 1,000 strings that can be tuned only by love.
That's nice.
Maulana, for end of the ceremony, has a poetry that I love it. They said, مبارک باد بر ما این عروسی خجسته باد بر ما این عروسی چو شیر و چو شکر بادا همیشه چو صحبا و حلوا بود این عروسی. Yeah, thank God we have a choice of the many nice poetry in our literature, and so I have a lot of variety to choose and customize for each bride and groom. That's not difficult.
But let's talk about certain things that we wish that couples and their families would pay more attention to at weddings. For example, summertime outside, if there's heat.
Yeah, it's a good point. We experience a lot that most of the wedding, they love to have a ceremony outside, which is nice. But there are the couple points that if they don't really pay attention, it's the guests will not appreciate. And then I think that all the people through a wedding, they want the number one, the happiness and comfort of the guests. Mm-hmm. But when you invite the 200 people and they are sitting outside, first of all, delay. That when they are late for any reason, or sometimes they are waiting just for the family member that they come late. I know it's important, but what about the 200 people that are sitting there?
And they came on time.
They came on time. And also, the bar opened at a certain time for the cocktail. Until that time, many things, they don't even provide the water or the hot weather. Mm-hmm. Or that it's hot, that you can provide the fan, just a small fan. The ladies with this dress and makeup, and then they have sometimes the hairs or something, but you can provide the fan. Or most of the time, it starts to rain. First of all, if you are not sure about the weather, please stay inside. Because it's really ruined everything.
I remember this one wedding that you did. I wasn't there, but it was outdoor. It was like super windy, then like microphone, like then the sound isn't good.
It's a disaster.
Yeah.
And so at least you provide the umbrella over there.
Yeah.
Cheap umbrella just for 1 hour. This is
this is really also
planner.
Yeah, I was going to say the event planners and the venues really should kind of keep these things in mind and give those friendly reminders to the bride. 'Cause the bride and grooms, they don't always know these things,
It's the first time to have a wedding.
But the wedding planners, they know it for sure. The venues, they know it. I mean,
I try to really tell them on my part. That please consider these things. Or another thing is that I say, please don't be shy and don't accept you have children under 4 years old. Because I have experienced many times, not a couple of times. As soon as I start to have my performance, the kids are crying. And then mother give to the father give to the mother. And even they don't leave the area. So I know that it's a family, they are dear for you, but your wedding is more important. Because as soon as they're crying, the bride, I see the face of the bride and groom.
Yeah.
And then also, it's just bothering me. Anyway, it is this thing that is very important. And then also, I said that when you want you want the people for the sugaring, but just know how many people you have a space, and then you prepare them. Many times I see, especially this is the mother of the bride. Then middle of the speech they call that you come, and then it's as if they make a noise or they talk together, because the ceremony, I think, it is the most important this minute of the life of everybody, and it is. I can't tell how much is important. In this time, you want to have a relax. You want to have a think about it. You like to have to pray for your children so that is very important to keep this ceremony quiet. That is really respect for the bride and groom, and also you have make it as a host to manage everything that doesn't cause this noise. That's another thing that I tell to the bride and groom, that if you have a bridesmaid, you know that what they are doing, and they're not to coming and they're laughing and talking behind of the bride and groom. That is just the point that I try to tell them.
And then just something, because of, we're involved in this part of the music. Our DJs, they do a good job of communicating with you. But, a lot of officiants don't communicate with the DJ. Yeah. And the part that's important is, first of all, just knowing when to lower the volume so that they know when the officiant starts, and then when to play like Mubarak Bad or like whatever important songs that are supposed to be integrated.
I asked the bride and groom that they coordinate with the DJ.
Yeah.
What songs you like to play when you are coming, when you are leaving.
Yeah.
And then what time, when they start the Mubarak Bad. The only thing that I said that during my speech, I don't want any music. And then usually when I bring the marriage certificate to sign by the bride and groom, that usually I ask the DJ that you can play the Mubarak Bad.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we have a Christian ceremony that this is before my ceremony, and we have to. They should to have an extra microphone for that ceremony.
Right.
Or if the bride and groom, usually they change their vows.
Exchanging vows, yeah.
Yes, and then I asked that be sure that the DJ should provide the separate microphone, because I have usually lavalier microphone and I can't pass to them.
Correct. Having a professional sound system with the DJ really, that can take care of the sound, the microphone, the music is definitely important. You just mentioned how sometimes you have like for example a priest or something that kind of comes before or after. Tell me about your experience of having dual ceremonies. Is that usually a smooth thing for you guys?
Usually I'm the first person that I come to the ceremony, and after me the groom or bridesmaids or the father and mother. But if we are doing the Christian too, then me and then other person.
Or not just Christian, it could be anything. It could be Jewish, it could be Western,
Usually it's a Christian, because Jewish ceremony, usually they do this separate, they don't mix it. But all it depends. But we come together, and then I will go behind of the podium, and then he will stay there. And then when the bride and groom, they come and they will stand in the front of the Sofreh. And then I invite the priest or any person that's in charge, that he goes there and then does the ceremony. And after that, the bride and groom, they come and sit at the bench. And another thing that the event planner and then bride and groom, they should know that which side they have to go. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes they are standing there and they don't know one goes other side, another route. That is a small thing, but the minute happen, it's hard. Or they had 8 bridesmaids, but none of them they step forward and then help the bride with her dress and the veil, everything to sit over there. That is again, it's a small point, but when they don't pay attention at the time.
So how important is a wedding planner for you as a professional who's working there when you're dealing with a good wedding planner?
Oh, it is just there's a couple event planner that I work with them mostly. That when they are the event planner, I have my peace of mind.
Yeah.
Because I know for this reason I try, if I don't know the event planner, before the ceremony, the week before, 2 weeks before, I talk to her and then I send the email, I introduce myself, and then if there is some issue, then I can reach her. But it's very important that the good event planner with the experience is a peace of mind for me, for the music, for the bride and groom.
Yeah. Okay, so now tell me a really, it could be a funny moment in all the almost 200 weddings that you've done. It could be let's start with a fun or funny moment.
Funny moment, of course, it's a lot of the memory, but one of them that you was there. And if you remember, there was a wedding in the Cancun, and then first of all, the bride insisted that it should be outside, and because she wanted to come with the booth and then come to the ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember the morning of that, the groom comes to me and said, please talk to her that she changed her mind and then have a ceremony inside. But she said, no, Angel, I want outside because I have this plan. I said, okay, but really, we was just praying that not rain. Okay, rain was okay, not rain. But as I start my speech, because you and your team was there too, you came to me, I said, Mom, try to talk longer. The ring is in the hotel. That bridesmaid has.
Yeah, it's one of those resorts where it's like it's a far distance. You got to get in a golf cart, then you have to go through God knows how many villages.
And then I thought, how I can wait until the ring comes. But this bride again, although half of the guests they were not Iranian, but again she insisted that I want the ceremony, all the ceremony full Farsi. And I said, okay, but even bridesmaid doesn't understand. No, I don't care. So, and then I said, okay, all will be English. And then as
Farsi.
You told me that that's the problem, I said, okay, I start all the ceremony in Farsi. But at the end, as I said, respect to the not Iranian. Right now, I say all.
I actually didn't remember that I'm the one that told you about the thing.
And
she has a much better memory than I do.
And then I saw that. But the good thing that the bride, she was relaxed and she was laughing.
Yeah.
That it happened. But then finally, I saw that you gave me the sign. Then I wrap up and then
Well, at least it was in the hotel, and
for me.
At least it was in the hotel and not in DC, you know. So at least they brought it to Mexico. That's the most important.
And then anyway, that was good things. And another point that I remember right now that it is important. Any ceremony that the parents, two sides. They attend to the ceremony. I love it. And it's very important for me that they, but sometimes that they passed, and then father or mother one side or both, they are not. And usually the bride and groom, they don't think that, they think they shouldn't say anything. I know they have they in their heart, but they don't tell me that. Just they said I passed away. And then I tell them, do you want I say something? I recognize the name of your father and mother in a nice word that they shine, they pray to bride and groom, and I say, oh yes, that's good. So that's the thing that I think it is our responsibility. We tell them that they want that. Of course, it may be a couple seconds. It's hard. I experienced myself. I know it's hard, but it's better to mention, not just
completely ignore.
And say, that's another thing.
Yeah, no, of course. I think it's beautiful to recognize those who were important in their lives and give them the proper recognition. So one question that I would love to ask of you, considering that you and Dad were together for almost 60 years, 56 or 57 years of marriage, I believe. What advice do you have for individuals that are searching for that soulmate, their ideal partner, and just what advice you have for them before they make the all-important decision of getting married?
First of all, I'm not the professional advisor, but as you said, because of my long time successful marriage, fortunately nowadays the boys and girls, they have an opportunity to know each other than many things that in past we didn't have this chance. Right now, you are friends, and then you are dating, and then you are together. Most of the time, they live together, they travel together, and it's not that much difficult to make decision. And it doesn't need the 2, 3 years, 4 years to be together. If really they want to marry, they don't need that long time. But 2 things I think is very important. The other things maybe you can deal with that. Anyway, 100%, there is no any couple that 100% match together. That's for sure. But 2 things is important: love and in common. These 2 things should be there. If you have these 2, the other stuff you can deal with that.
Okay, so now considering that you've been doing this for about 8 years now, I know the first one you did was 30 years ago for our cousin, and you did some friends and family, but you started officiating now 8 years. And, I feel like they usually say that there's like at the 5 or 7 year part, the relationship is really tested, What advice do you have for all of your couples so far that you married them 8 years ago, 7 years or 6 years ago, to make sure that they continue to nourish their relationship and really strengthen their bond, to make sure they continue to go the right direction?
Very good point. First of all, I love to say hi to all the bride and groom that I had the pleasure witness. Then the first foundation of the castle of their happiness, because most of them, I will follow them on Facebook, and I see that I can realize they're happy and they have 1, 2, 3 children. And it's really, really, it makes me happy. I'm delighted to see them. And for them, it is important that never we think that we love each other and that's enough. Number one, we have to, I know that the love has a different languages. Some people, they show the love with to help their partner or bring the gift, jewelry, or many ways we can show the love. But most important that we open the mouth and then they say, I love you, I love you. Because it's a kind of, they're like the epidemic. It is go and come back. So, and even if our partner, he or she doesn't do that, little by little she learn it. And I think that we women, we can do more that we can teach to our partner. That is important, and I never we think that is okay, we love each other is enough. Always we think that today we married, and then they show the same love and attention, and then listen. We have to communicate with our partner. Most of the time the problem starts very little, and because we don't talk about it, we can't find a way to solve it. And that's the reason always I tell to my bride and groom, I said, please talk about your problem. And then I understand most of the time they don't want to talk to their parents because they think they get worried. And they talk to their friends, they don't want to talk to the friends because if they open the mouth and today, then tomorrow everybody knows about their problem. So that's, first of all, I encourage them, talk together. The best way, talk together. And then always I say, please call me, and then I will help you. Because when you talk to somebody, if it's just there's somebody you can trust, then maybe your problem is not that important. The lack of the communication, most of the time, is just unfortunately, they ended up to their divorce. But if they had talked about the problem before that, it's just like it's just a ball of the snow, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. The best way that we talk together and appreciate whatever that we have it, and encourage a partner. If she has or he has something good, tell her.
Yeah, no, of course, I love that. My question to you is, in closing, considering that, you're doing such a great thing for preserving Persian weddings and the traditions of Persian weddings, it means that you are a proud Iranian. You're proud of your history, you're proud of the culture. You obviously love what you're doing, where you're promoting love, which is an amazing profession to be a part of, But I'm curious, what are you most proud of as an Iranian?
We Iranian, no matter in any shape and form, especially the parents, they try to teach the children the history of Iran and then give them education. Education for Iranian is very important. We see in Iran, even with all this limitation, the young people, they try to go to university and to learn something. And then the one that they left the Iran, the parents, with all the difficulties, with all the really, really hard time, they try to send their children to the best school, best university, and we see the result. The number of the educated Iranian, and we as an immigrant, we are on the top. Everywhere that we say we're Iranian, we're really proud that we are Iranian. As soon as I tell to somebody I'm Iranian, they say, oh, my doctor is Iranian, my friend and lawyers, Iranian, so because we as immigrant people, really we are good people. We have a good reputation. And then Iran is as well. Look at this, what they are doing. It's not easy. They have a best in Olympic, they get the gold. The film get their reward. Whatever they do. And, it's not easy what they approach and then they achieve.
Yeah, especially considering what we've gone through as a people in the last 45 years, and so...
And then finally we're going to make it.
Yeah. That would be amazing if we do. Hopefully sooner than later. Well, this was great. I think we covered a lot of ground talking about all the amazing things about Persian weddings. It's one of the best parts of what I do is when we do weddings together. That's always a fun thing. It's like it's like going to work with your mom is a cool thing. And so we've experienced that.
Thank you so much again that you encourage me to do this.
Of course,
that's really, really. I'm grateful.
Well, I mean, I think the reason why I encouraged you was because I could tell that first and foremost you'd be very good at it, and just throughout the years, it's always been so fun to see, first of all, how serious you take it, how much time that you spend to prepare for it, and then always like you have like it's a cute, nervous excitement before the wedding. You're excited, but yet you're nervous. That's because you care. It's very much.
It's not easy.
Yeah, no, it's very stressful. I always say from our end.
You know that how it's stressful because it's important.
It's a lot of responsibility.
One day they have a wedding and then reception.
Yeah.
If anything, imagine if I am the half an hour late. What is going to happen?
Yeah. No, I know.
No, thank God so far.
Yeah.
Always it was good, and then thank you so much.
Of course, and continuing to travel the world and officiating weddings and put me in your luggage, and we go together.
One day I go to Iran.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, I would love to do.
I have gone until Turkey. I have gone, but I hope that.
Oh man, I would love to do a wedding in Iran.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, پس به یاد اون روز یا به امید اون روز.
امید اون روز هستیم.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Sure.
Definitely an awesome person, an awesome mom. Love you very much.
Love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on this special episode of Awesome People. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about Persian weddings, the history, the culture, the nuances. And if you are recently engaged, well, then maybe we have the pleasure and honor of being a part of your special day. Either way, we wish you an amazing wedding day if you're getting married soon, and decades of health and happiness. Much love, guys.